Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and it is Doomfist hype time, ladies and gentlemen, because it has been reported that some of the various Overwatch regional YouTube channels have had their playlists updated. Now, notably, this generally happens before announcements are made. However, I run a YouTube channel, so I kind of know how playlists work in some capacity. If you mess with them, if you delete videos, if you move them around, if you do stuff like that, it's going to report that the playlist has been updated, which could easily be the case. Now, I find it pretty hard to believe right now that they would upload videos very far in advance for new hero announcements, because imagine if they accidentally set the video to live, which can happen during the upload of the video. That would totally wreck the announcement of any new content. So it's a very risky strategy, especially if it's so far ahead. But here's the thing, is Doomfist actually that far away? I mean, is Doomfist actually going to be the next hero? We're not sure. But what we're going to do, though, guys, is we're going to look at this. This is the leak from, well, before Orisa was announced. And this is extremely accurate, like very, very accurate. So what this predicts is, well, it doesn't predict, what this tells us is the lunar event. It tells us the skins that we're going to get for May. It also then says there's going to be a May origin story, a type of cinematic for May, which is probably going to be the next cinematic, so I wouldn't be surprised if that actually is the next cinematic. But then it goes into more detail on a hero called Ankara. Now, I covered this in a lot of detail. Ankara, it says, contrary to speculation, Doomfist is not next. The upcoming character is a female omnic quadruped codenamed Ankara. Yeah, and it was, right? And it absolutely was. Now, here's the thing, right? And also it says that she hails from Numbani, which she does. And then it says Doomfist is going to be a black guy. Well, I think we kind of know that anyway, so that's not really news. Then we've got another supposed leak on 4chan. Now, before we go into detail and break this down, the wording of this makes it seem highly dodgy, right? Like, highly dodgy. Also, some of its content does seem highly dodgy. But I thought it would be fun to look at this because you never know. And it is very interesting to look back at all of this stuff once everything has been said and done to see is actually true. Alright, let's take a look at this. So the very first line we've got is, F it, I'm going to leak something about Doomfist. He is a combination of Tracer and Rhine. He has charges and can do a pinning charge move. Right then, so if he's a combination of Tracer and Reinhardt, you know what I would have said before in the past? That's complete crap, because I don't think they ever would fuse heroes together. However, Exhibit A is Orisa. Orisa is a fusion of already existing hero abilities. You can say that maybe it's a cheap hero or whatever, but it's still a new hero, and I think she's quite a good hero, but it is a fusion of abilities. Prior to Orisa, I would have disagreed with this. I would have just straight away thrown it out the window. Like, why would you just copy abilities from other heroes? But they have got a track record of it now, so maybe this could actually be the case. Who knows? His ultimate is a nosedive towards the ground. It has knockback, no stun, and will instant kill anything if it is a direct contact, regardless of HP. No long range attacks. Now, you notice I choked a little bit there, ladies and gentlemen. An instant kill. So what this is saying is that his ultimate is supposedly an ability where he launches like nosedives towards the ground. So I guess you would, if these abilities are to be believed, charge up into the air like Genji does before his Dragon Blade, then nosedive back into the ground like a missile, and if you hit anybody, you instantly kill them and you knock everybody back. I mean, it could potentially make sense with the Gauntlet. We know the Gauntlet can supposedly level skyscrapers, and we watch One Punch Kid. That's not really his name, is it? It's Punch Kid. One Punch Kid. Well, I'm getting confused here. What's that? It's One Punch Man, ain't it? Whatever. The Punch Kid, he smashes Widowmaker with it, and she goes flying. So we know it's got a lot of power behind it. Obviously, it's the Doomfist. It does a load of damage. So potentially, this could be believed. And also, no long-range attacks. Yeah, like a melee-only hero. Again, that's something which I think I want to see in the game. How they're going to pull that off, I don't know, because Genji actually used to be a melee-only hero. He used to run around with his Dragon Blade out, just chopping people up, which obviously was as ridiculous as, well, it sounds. One of the issues with that is it was highly frustrating to play against, because he would be all over you, chopping and chopping, and it was very frustrating. Kind of like what he is when he's got his Dragon Blade out and he's dashing around, cutting you. That feels pretty, not bad, but it's hard to hit Genji, isn't it? Imagine if he was doing that all of the time. That's why Genji went back to being a ranged character with a melee ultimate. Think of the Gauntlet like a separate entity. His charge pinning move can be used to move around the map, can be used in any direction, and can be used while moving. He is considered a high skill ceiling hero, offensive hero. The lower HP he has, the more damage he does. Alright then, so yeah, so he can use his charge to go around the map, which alright, if this is to be believed again, it would be a combination of Tracer's Blink and Genji's Dash to me, not really Reinhardt's Charge, because to me, I doubt they would have another hero who could charge in the same capacity as Reinhardt, so like a long-range, heavy-hitting charge. That's probably not what we're going to get. It kind of is an interesting theory, though, because you imagine the Doomfist, like, almost like launching you forward because it's got a lot of power. Like his fist goes out and he flies forward, like Superman. Maybe that kind of thing. So maybe this is kind of believable. Also, an offense hero, yeah, that's fine. A high skill hero, well, yeah, if he's got high mobility, generally high mobility heroes are high skill ceiling heroes. But this is what I don't agree with. The lower HP he has, the more damage he does. Why I don't agree with this, I think this is an okay mechanic on paper, and it works in a lot of different games. I mean, any of you guys play Dark Souls, you can run around with like literally no health and do tons of damage. Risk versus reward thing. But in Overwatch, you've got healers, and the healers heal you, and through doing that, they get ultimate charge. So if you're running around going, don't heal me, and you're living on the edge and you can literally be one shot, that's not great. So I don't think they would ever do that. But again, maybe they will. But I don't think that's, I think that is just like wild, and I don't think that would ever be in the game, really. The main focus of this hero is his charge. You can change the distance by holding the specific key. The longest you can hold it for is 4 seconds for maximum distance. Alright, so if we've got a variable charge range for a hero, that again seems a little bit counterintuitive to the way the game is designed. You look at Tracer's Blink, it's a set range. Yes, you've got charges, so you can do it 3 times, but it's a set range. You look at Reinhardt's charge. Yes, it's got a range, but pretty much it's wherever you're going to charge, you're going to end up. It's such a long range thing, you don't really need to sort of gauge the range. With Doomfist, if he does have a variable charge distance, which he can sort of charge up while he's using the charge, talk about a tongue twister, that seems really convoluted design to me, and I don't think that would potentially be something they would have in a hero, because it just seems not too complicated, but it just seems pointlessly overcomplicated, you know, and not in a good way. I can't really work out in my head how that would actually function and be interesting to play with. It's an interesting thought. Max charges is 3, similar to Tracer. The main mechanic of this hero, think of it like Ryan's pin, but it can be used in any direction, and the distance can be changed, and can be used up to 3 times. I look forward to how people will use this new hero. He will be released on the same day Overwatch was released. The 1-year anniversary. Yes, he is being voiced by Terry Crews. Screen cap this if you like. Now, all of this stuff was from a guy who was obviously anonymous on 4chan. We don't know who this is, but the way it's worded, it looks completely different to the other leak, so it's clearly not the same person, at least not in my opinion. So if we've got somebody who can charge 3 times at variable distances and pin people, and presumably do damage to them, that seems very strong to me, if that's true. Like, very, very strong. Obviously, he looks forward to see how people will use the hero, which is fair enough. But this is an interesting thought. He's going to be released on the same day Overwatch was released. Is he part of the 1-year anniversary for Overwatch? Now, this actually might not be a bad shout, because you look at the way the heroes have been released. We know we're going to get 3 heroes this year. We've already got Orisa. And then we get Doomfist on the 1-year anniversary, which is May the 23rd or the 24th, I believe. And then at BlizzCon, we get another hero. It kind of makes sense date-wise, because in between all of that, we will have Gamescom, which will probably be map releases. I'd imagine, I speculate that'll be a Paris-style map, so that's going to be a very interesting thing if that does happen. But what's also interesting as well is I know there are various 1-year anniversaries going on for Overwatch, and I've been invited to some of these official Blizzard events. So what could that be? It could straight up be just just a celebration of Overwatch, or it could be something more. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very interesting. That's what kind of piqued my interest with all of this when I read the 1-year anniversary, because maybe that's true. All of the other stuff, though, seems slightly iffy to me. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Doomfist is coming out. This is a fact. We know Terry Crews has been at Blizzard. We know that the guys over at Blizzard know there is a massive load of hype around Terry Crews for voicing Doomfist. We know Terry Crews likes Overwatch, or at least he's got a PC that can run Overwatch because of all the stuff he put on Facebook recently. So it is a distinct possibility, and it would be massive fan service. And you got to remember, guys, Blizzard are not stupid. They know that if they do things that the player base like, it will make the game better. And you know what? Doomfist, voiced by Terry Crews, would make the player base go absolutely insane. It would be ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. Let's get hyped because it looks like we're getting closer and closer to another hero launch. Well, inevitably we are, ladies and gentlemen. As each day goes by, some new information will start to come out. But yeah, could this be during the 1-year anniversary? Alright guys, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. You can follow the channel if you like the channel. You can follow me on Twitter as well, which is @UnitLostGaming. Like the video if you do, and I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.